In this video, I want to share some blunders to avoid when creating your checklist content. So checklists are a great type of content to grow your business with or even to sell directly. They're really like mini blueprints on how to accomplish tasks with explanation and examples. And in this video, I want to share some of the things you need to be aware of while you're putting together your checklist so they will be effective and you can use them to grow your business or even to sell. So you really want to optimize your checklist. And one of the best ways to do this, I think, is to just get beta testers to use your checklist and get feedback for improvements. So these can be your current customers or your audience. It can be people maybe you know or who are on your team. I don't know about you, but I've certainly gone to look at work with checklists or how-to things and then found that maybe sometimes they're unclear or they don't include all the necessary steps. So this is really something you want to make sure you put together that's very clear. And a lot of times when we're working on something, it can be difficult to step outside that and see it in the way a user might see it. So it's great to get somebody to actually run through your checklist and to make sure it makes sense. So you also would want to make sure you're proofreading it. You can use your feedback from your beta testers. You can use a tool like Grammarly, or you can use a third-party person like getting a proofreader from Upwork or Fiverr or something like that. But a lot of times it's easy to miss mistakes. And if you're just relying on something like Microsoft Word, a lot of times that's not going to catch everything. So you can use a human to do this, or at the minimum, use something like a grammar tool to proofread. One of the things, of course, you want to do even before you get to that stage is make sure there's a demand in your niche and in the particular topic before you start creating your checklists. So this is something where you want to make sure that there's a real demand there. If you're talking about something super specific or obscure, there might not be enough demand to actually get more traction out of your checklist, unless you're really going after a specific audience. So for example, you might want to have a checklist on how to make baby food at home. And this is going to, appeal to a wide variety of people. But if you have a checklist only on creating, baby food that's vegetable based from your garden, that might be very specific unless you're creating it with a lot of other checklists as well. So you really want to research and see what similar products your customers are buying. And you can look at courses, ebooks, membership sites, what people are selling. And if you've created content already that's doing well, it might be a prime candidate for putting together a checklist based on that content. And that is also a way to repurpose your content and get even more mileage out of it. One of the things you want to be thinking about too is the end game with your checklist. It's to be strategic. So you want to be thinking about how you can actually put together revenue streams with your checklists. So if there's something you want to actually sell within your checklists, and how would you sell it if people were buying your checklist? So let's say, for example, you want to give away a free checklist on preparing baby food. So maybe at the bottom of your checklist, you would have a little link or a blurb to maybe your full-length book about that on Amazon or something like that. And if people were buying your checklists, maybe would you make them a full-length book? Would you create standalone downloadable printables like on Etsy or something that you could ship out to people? So you want to be just thinking about that, about thinking about how you can use these checklists to create revenue. If you'd like to learn more about making money with checklists, check out my checklists that sell. And this is going to show you how you can build up an income stream with checklists.